Hi everybody, I'm Kenya and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today is March 1st and today is officially the first day of Women's History Month, okay? So first things first, I just want to talk about how I freed myself from the shackles of hustle culture in 2023. In 2023, I decided for myself I was not going to participate in hustle culture anymore. And I feel like for a while there, you know, that was just a thing. Like, what are you doing? Why are you sitting around? You could be doing this, you could be making money doing this, that, and the third. Like, and I was just tired of it. When I went to do my taxes in 2023, I literally had my W-2 form from work and I had 6 1099 forms, okay? 6 1099 forms. Which means that in 2022, I got busy. I was hustling back and forth. And not to mention 2021 and 2022, I had extreme respiratory issues. And during that time, I was still out here working like crazy. I'm fortunate enough to have a job where I can just pay all of my bills with the money that I earn from my job and have a little left over, you know, just to, you know, do some things for myself. I just felt like in 2023, I just didn't want to do that anymore.
If you have time to watch Netflix, you have time to get a side hustle. Let me just say it like that.
Why'd you have to go and do that?
I'm just saying.
Making us all feel guilty for sitting there and watching some
I'm
Netflix.
just saying. Do something during that time. I have a buddy that I follow online and she does the surveys.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you can do the surveys.
Yeah.
And it's like there is always something you can do to make money. Even if it's a little bit, there's always something you can do with that extra 30 minutes here and 40 minutes there.
And I feel like hustle culture is dead. Number one is because the American dream is dead, okay? The American dream is no more. Now, I remember when I was doing my family's ancestry and I was on familysearch.org, I believe the website is called, and I came across the 1960 census, and it had my grandfather's, my great-grandfather's information from the 60s, where he was working as a miner, where he was blasting through the mountains in West Orange, New Jersey, when they were creating the highway called Route 280, like in the 60s. And on that US census, it had his salary, which was listed at $11,900. In today's money, I believe that when I checked, that would be equivalent to about 111,000 US dollars. So back in the day, you could have a job and be able to support yourself, and it was 11 of them. He was able to support 11 kids on his salary, and my great-grandmother was a stay-at-home wife. She didn't have to do no nannying for white families. She didn't have to clean white families' homes for extra money. She was able to stay at home. And so I feel like now, with inflation, our salaries are just not it. It's just not it. So according to Rent Cafe, the median annual salary in the US is $56,420, okay? Now, the West Coast and the Northeast pays higher salaries, whereas the South pays the least amount of salaries. So the top 10% earners in the US earn about $173,176 per year, okay? 16.5% earn between $50,000 and $74,999. 12.2% earn between $75,000 and $99,000 per year. 15.3% earn between $100,000 and $149,000 per year. Now, 49% of US citizens, 49%, that's almost half of the US citizens, earned below $50,000 per year annually, which we know is just not enough to survive in the modern day USA, you know? I know in the 80s, if you made about $35,000 a year, you would consider middle class. You know, you and your family were able to take vacations once a year. Like, you were straight. And so if you were wondering, the most affordable state to live in would be Oklahoma, where the average rent is $989, but you would have to live in Oklahoma, okay? And the most expensive state to live in is Massachusetts, and the average rent there is $2,714. So according to Rent Cafe, the average rent across the US is $1,702. and the average size apartment would be 897 square feet. Now, 35% of the US population are renters, and that is equivalent to 43,858,831 US citizens are renters. Whereas 65% of US citizens are homeowners, and that is equivalent to 80,152,161 US citizens. And I can remember in the 80s, my grandmother and her sister bought a 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a patio, driveway, garage. And this was a very nice house. It wasn't like no fixer-upper or no, a very nice house. In the 80s, they paid $52,000 for that house. Today, I earn more than both my grandmother and my aunt combined at the time that they bought that house, and I still can't buy a house. I still don't make enough to buy a house. Not even a busted one. And I live in New Jersey. So with that being said, the American dream is dead. Number 2, I feel like working so many hours. When I get onto TikTok, I always see young people working 60, 80, 100 hours a week just to survive. And they're still not surviving. You still have young people who are forced to live in their cars, live out of hotel rooms, like regular working class people. That's crazy. And when you are subjected to working all those hours, you're basically running yourself into the ground, because that's essentially what I was doing when I was working all those hours. I feel like that's a reason why I was sick for so long. I needed to sit down to get myself together so I can become well. You're running yourself into the ground and you're shaving years off of your life. The third reason why hustle culture is definitely dead is because by the time we get to retire, Social Security may not even be a thing for retirement. So now you're putting money into your 401k or 403b retirement plans, but a lot of companies are not matching the money that you're putting in, you know? And so I just feel like the whole idea of working and collecting a retirement check and a pension, that's all dead. Like, we have to find alternative ways to save up money for retirement. I'm doing all of this hustling, but when I get to my old age, it feels like it'll all be for nothing. And I can remember I had this Uncle Harold. This is my grandmother's brother-in-law. So he's like old. He was older. You know, he bought his family a nice house. He would take his wife on nice vacations. He always showed us pictures. Like, he took care of his kids, and he retired in his 40s. Homeboy did well for himself. Like, that's just it's all a dream now. And number 4, your body needs rest. As I stated earlier, this whole idea of I'll get rest when I'm dead, no. We getting rest while we on this earth, because you need to live to see your grandkids, your own kids grow up. You just want to be there for the people that love you. And I feel like a lot of the times, like, our ailments come from the fact that, and they progress and it get worse, is the fact that we don't rest. So this whole notion that we used to say when we were younger, in my 20s, I'll rest when I'm dead. No, I take that back. I'll be resting while I'm here. And number 5, enjoy your life, because you only get one. You only get one life. And I feel like, especially in my 20s and even in my early 30s, like, if you've been following my YouTube channel for a while, I was documenting my hustle, all these things that I was doing, real estate and renting apartments and this and that and the third. I'm no longer documenting my hustle in that way. I'll still be telling you guys and sharing with you guys the things that I get into, but the constant hustling and bustling and on the go, I will not be doing anymore. I'm a lady. And not to jump on, like, you know, I want to live this soft life, but yeah, I definitely do. I want to take it easily. And I feel like over the past few years, I've really been pouring into myself, which I wasn't able to do because, you know, hustle culture had me in a chokehold, which I'm no longer in. I'm taking care of my body. I'm eating better. I'm drinking more water, you know, taking my vitamins, just making sure I keep up with my appointments at the doctor, my health, my dental appointments and things like that. My hair is even flourishing, people. Like, even though, you know, I got on a little, you know, unit today, like, my natural hair is actually flourishing, which I'm so grateful for. It's because I've just been taking time to just pour more into myself, because you only live once. Even going on vacations, and I have another vacation that I'm going to on this upcoming Saturday, you know, so I'm excited about that as well. So, and since I did say that hustle culture was dead, and I feel like we're doing all of this work just to keep our heads above water at this point, and that when we retire, we won't even see the fruits of all the hustling that we have done. And now that they decided to raise the retirement age to the age of 70, because they said that people are living longer lives. No, people were living longer lives when they were getting paid, you know, well enough to where they didn't have to work as much. Now, like I said, I go on TikTok and I see people who have been working 60, 80, 100 hours a week, who are literally running themselves into the ground, literally shaving years off of their life. They're not, folks are not going to reach the age of 70. They're not even going to be able to enjoy the little retirement money that they have saved up for themselves. You get what I'm saying? So if hustle culture has you in a chokehold, let me know. If you are working more than 40 hours a week, let me know in the comments section. Is hustle culture dead? Do you think it's dead or no? Let me know in the comments. And so with that being said, I would like to thank you guys for coming to kick with me today, and I will see you guys in my next YouTube video. Toodles.